Hi, welcome to the Litton's Diaries once again. We are in discussion about Kashmir in general, about Article 370, the Kashmir files, and whatever else is the latest going on in Kashmir. You have already met with Mr. Muzzafar Shah, who is the Senior Vice President of ANC, and he's also the executive member of the Gupkar Alliance.
PAGD.
PAGD. And we are going to carry on with our discussion that we had earlier. Muzzafar Saab is a very seasoned political leader of Jammu and Kashmir. He's a grandson of Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Sahab and his nephew of Dr. Farooq Abdullah and his mother Khalida ji. She is the president of the ANC and Muzzafar Saab is the senior vice president. So Muzzafar, continuing with our earlier discussion, what is your perspective about the removal of 370 from Jammu and Kashmir and bifurcation of the areas and the consequences it will have in the long term?
Thank you very much. Neelam ji, we continue the discussions on Kashmir. As far as 370 is concerned, we feel that was, and it is what I am saying is absolute right, unconstitutional, arbitrary, and an illegal decision that the government of India took. Perhaps one of the biggest blunders of our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi.
But why do you feel so?
Because the 370 is a constitutional guarantee given to the state and the people of Jammu and Kashmir by the forefathers of modern India. And it is not a piece of paper. It is an ironclad guarantee which can only be broken by the Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir, which finished its work in 1957 and never recommended anything to be done with 370. As per the constitution also, the 370 cannot be abrogated, touched, amended neither by the parliament nor by any executive order nor by the Honorable Supreme Court of India nor by the Legislative Assembly of the Jammu and Kashmir.
But this has been done by a special act of parliament,
yes,
and it has been mandated by the majority in Lok Sabha and Rajya
That does not
Sabha.
mean anything.
And then issuing of the government notification.
That's why we have gone to the court.
Right.
And
The Supreme Court has also not put it on priority.
Yes, it is not put on priority, unfortunately. And through your channel also, through your interview today, I will appeal to the Honorable Supreme Court of India that please take a quick decision to hear our petitions, because it is the Supreme Court of India that has saved the present government till now on 370, because the day this application is taken, these petitions are taken up for hearing, the case will be lost by them.
Because it is said that the need of 370 was there during the formation of the state initially. Now that 75 years of India's independence has taken place, that need of a special provision of Article 370 is no longer required in Jammu and Kashmir.
You cannot break an irrevocable guarantee.
Right.
You just cannot.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like I told you, it was the Constituent Assembly of India. Parliament at that time was called Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly of India. And after that, the Parliament, which finally approved 370 after discussions of years after the instrument of accession. And they accepted the three areas which the Maharaja
Hari Singh.
Hari Singh asked the government of India. It was not that government of India asked for these three areas. No, it was the Maharaja who gave you that you will look after foreign affairs, defense and communications. Rest will be state subject.
Which is normally there in other states
Other
also.
states also, but this was put into constitution.
Right.
It has a constitutional background. Because of our situation, Jammu and Kashmir situation was different than the rest of the country. There were more than 500 or around 600 princely states. And when this accession took place at that time for all the other states not only acceded to the union, they also gave up their laws, gave up their constitutions, excepting the Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir, who retained everything with him and only parted with foreign affairs, defense and communications. And that was also then turned into law through the Constituent Assembly of India, the Parliament, and ratified and agreed also by the Constituent Assembly. There were two Constituent Assemblies in the country. Constituent Assembly of India, Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
And also, once this was done through the Constituent Assembly, after the Delhi Agreement, it was also allowed that as a special status because of the geographical condition the state was in.
The way strategically the valley was located in the higher mountains.
No, not only that.
With the border area of Pakistan.
Yes,
and
it was because of the geographical position of Jammu and Kashmir, the historical position of Jammu and Kashmir, the historical background of Jammu and Kashmir.
Because it was Kashmir which was divided.
And we had already taken the case into the United Nations because we were undergoing a war.
Right.
And the decision was given at that time, a pledge was given to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, inside and outside the parliament. Inside the parliament, outside the parliament, to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, it was given that, okay, we will always honor your right of decision, right of thinking.
Which you call plebiscite.
Which we call, at that time, that was plebiscite, that we are acceding and the state is acceding to the Union of India on these conditions, but it will be finally ratified by the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Their will be final.
So now it hasn't happened in 75 years.
What you are saying is,
so it's not going to happen now.
You cannot change the constitution. Do you mean you will tear the constitution?
But there is something called precedence.
No, not in this case, because you have this Article 370 is one of the basic pillars of the constitution of this country. You cannot touch it.
Just to bring to your knowledge that even in the northeastern states of India, we have special status to those states because of their strategic positions.
So why you don't touch Jammu and Kashmir?
Yeah, so these are the reasons we are discussing in this program.
Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution. Let me tell the viewers, Jammu and Kashmir state had its own constitution before the constitution of this country came into effect.
That was under Maharaja Hari Singh.
Maharaja Hari Singh from 1936. And same constitution, with the changes that were made, and it was made into law after the Delhi Agreement between the Union of India and the state of Jammu and Kashmir with Sher Kashmir Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah. It was allowed and it was agreed upon that Jammu and Kashmir will retain its constitution. It will retain its flag. No one can touch that excepting
35A.
No, 35 is a different ball game altogether.
Okay.
Excepting the Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. Only the people of the state can decide, okay, we don't want this. It has to be done. Why? Because one of our areas is under Pakistan control.
That is POK.
POK. The other area is under the Chinese control. Now also, the Maharaja had forbidden you from touching the boundaries of the state or from altering the boundaries of the state. Now when we The biggest blunder that we did, that the present government did politically, is to touch the boundary of the state. They not only downgraded the oldest state, not a state, it was a country. This is very important what I am going to tell you. Jammu and Kashmir was not only a state, it was a proper country.
Before 1947.
Before 1947.
It was a principality.
It's huge.
Yes.
Its borders were touching China,
Yes, yes.
Afghanistan, Russia.
Because that time it was an undivided
Yes,
area.
yes.
So the part of Kashmir, which is now POK, or it's a disputed area, that was also one big area. Which
Right,
was,
up to Gilgit-Baltistan
yes, yes.
and Tibet.
That is, as our friends call it, Akhand Bharat period.
No. We won't go into that part. I will only tell you that touching the boundary of Jammu and Kashmir is what gave China the teeth to come in and try to annex territory in Ladakh.
So we'll not go on that subject.
No, we won't go on the
because we
subject.
are going
This
to
is what they have
discuss
done.
370 right now.
No, because we are talking about the 370. 370, in this matter, also, you cannot touch the state boundary. You have altered the state boundary, and China came in.
The thing is that abrogation of Article 370 was also a primary agenda of Jan Sangh. I'm talking of not BJP, Jan Sangh. From the beginning, it was in their political agenda that Article 370 has to be abolished in Kashmir. Then there is a uniform civil code has to be introduced. So it is in and construction of the Ram Mandir. So now Ram Mandir is being constructed. Uniform civil code is yet not applied, but Delhi High Court gave an order to central government to look into it. And the third was removal of Article 370 from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So the present government is only following its agenda, isn't it?
Okay, that was a huge query from you, and I will answer you. I hope you will not interrupt me. When you say it was the agenda of BJP,
Right.
I have a counter question for the BJP and to definitely through you, through this program. Does BJP be guided by the constitution of this country, or the constitution of this country is guided by the BJP? BJP is a political party. It is in power today. It can be out of power tomorrow. The constitution of India is not subservient neither to BJP, nor to RSS, nor to Congress,
But that's
nor
for
to anybody.
all political parties.
No. In this case,
I mean, constitution is supreme for all of
it's
us.
supreme to all of us. It's supreme to us.
Yes.
So this argument does not carry weight. This argument will not carry weight in the Supreme Court of India. It will be tossed out.
No, but it is.
I'll also
it
tell
is a
you.
fact. That is what I'm discussing.
I'll also tell you two things. The Honorable Supreme Court of India, in its two earlier hearings, when this matter of 370 came up for same kind of a situation,
Yes.
that it should be thrown away, this, that, and all. This is
Supreme
I'm talking.
didn't interfere.
I'm talking about 1975 onwards.
Okay.
Supreme Court has said 370 is the finest path of integration of the Union of India and the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Please don't touch it. And they threw the case out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coming back to your question, is that Constitution is supreme. It is not subservient to RSS or BJP.
Yes, or not to any other political
Yes,
party.
not
also.
to any other political. I mean that.
Yes.
Because you made a comment that it is the BJP that did it. So I'm telling you, Constitution
No,
is
it
not.
has been done by the government, but I said that it was in
It
the
is not-
BJP's political
okay.
agenda
It
also.
is not subservient to any government also.
Right.
Whether BJP or Congress.
Okay.
Okay. Second, one of the basic principles of the Constitution is Article 3. Article 3 very clearly states
Yes.
you cannot touch any state, you cannot break any state And like we made two states out of Punjab.
Bihar
During the
also,
government
Bihar
time.
and Jharkhand, and
We
then
made Bihar and Jharkhand.
UP and Uttarakhand.
UP and Uttarakhand. Then during the BJP time, Vajpayee's time, we made Chhattisgarh,
Yes.
Rajasthan,
Yes.
so many. And now recently we made Hyderabad and Telangana. Okay, by applying Article 3. Article 3 can only be applied when you seek the concurrence of the legislature of that area, of the state government. In our case, there was no legislator. The assembly was dissolved.
The Jammu Kashmir Assembly was not taken into
there.
confidence, or they did not vote for it.
So you have violated the constitution, which is a very big matter. That
So
is
you
that is
had
also
a meeting with
that's
the
coming
Prime
into the.
Minister on 14 June 2021.
So
So this is after
yes, this
the
is after that.
promulgation of 370.
Yes. But our case, and also another thing is that our basic situation of agitating before the
Government.
Honorable Supreme Court has been since March, when we put about 12 petitions in the Honorable Supreme Court, and when 77 amendment was put forth, brought in. Now I'll tell you, at that time we said no, this cannot be done like that. This is not correct. This is constitutionally wrong. Because you are doing something, and because it was a direct attack on 370 and 35A, you cannot do it.
Right.
We have no legislator in office. Legislative assembly is gone. The government is not in office. You have to take concurrence of the people concurrence of the legislature. Now, I am saying
yes.
that is after that. In March 2019, these 12 petitions are there. Supreme Court did nothing about it. Okay,
Supreme Court is off late. If you have seen, it's not interfering in any of the executive orders.
It's very highly stressed, unfortunately, in these days.
We can say that or not, but they're not interfering in most of the executive orders.
But in this case, I would like to say that is after that the abrogation came in, which is from our point of view, it's from constitutional point of view, it's totally illegal.
And all the leaders of the BJP were also under detention for many months.
Not BJP, us.
The PAGD.
Yeah, not only the PAGD, the entire population was in. Now, what I am saying is that after the abrogation, all the reorganization that took place under the reorganization order of 2019 after 5th of March, 5th of August, whatever decisions you are taking, those are not constitutionally valid, because our case is
Pending
not
before Supreme
heard
Court.
till now. From March, it is not.
2019.
Please, I want to make it very clear here
2020.
to our viewers. It is from March 2019. No, 2019, when the first bunch of 12 petitions were put before the Honorable Supreme Court of India on the amendment, 77th amendment and 102 amendment, because the governor had assumed all the powers of the state legislature. That is when we came in and said, look, you cannot do that, you cannot take these powers, because you don't have those powers to take over those powers.
So
the
now,
Honorable Supreme
One
one moment. So whatever you have done from that time, whatever laws you have promulgated from that time, including after what you did from 5th August 2019, those are all wrong. This is purely what I am talking constitutional, purely talking legal. Whatever I am telling you, I am not saying it from nowhere.
But
So
also,
this is what we are wanting the Honorable Supreme Court of India to give justice to the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, because you have broken our. Normally a state, union territory is upgraded to a state. In this case,
a state has become
the
a
state
union
has
territory.
become a union territory, and also you have broken our state, which has a 5,000-year-old history.
But the government is saying
You have
that
broken
it
our
is
state
considering
into two.
making Kashmir a
And now,
state again.
in this case, even earlier, you had some support from some pockets of Jammu. once abrogation of 370 took place, you had some support in Leh itself, Leh town mostly. Rest of the Ladakh division is totally against it. Now the entire Leh town also is saying, by please, whatever we wanted from this union territory and all, we don't want this. We want our state back, because what they are demanding that their jobs, their land, their education, whatever, and that nobody purchases property from outside, that was all guaranteed to them under Article 35A.
But that's
Now,
there in Himachal Pradesh
now,
also. That's also in the northeastern states
because
also.
you use this
That is
word,
there presently also.
you asked me something about 35A also.
Yes, of course.
Now, and it is very misinterpreted in the country that 35A or 370 was Kashmir centric or Kashmiri Muslim centric. No. 35A was promulgated by Maharaja in 1927 because of the recommendations from Kashmiri Pandit Sabha and the Dogra Sadar Sabha. They wanted safety and security for their lands, for their properties, for their jobs. So, and Maharaja agreed to it. He said, yes, you're right, I will give you this. And that is basic situation of 35A. Today, like you see in Maharashtra, people are wanting security for their jobs. People are wanting no, from outside you're here, we want first Maharashtrians to get it.
That's applicable to
It's
most of
all
the states also.
Now, and 370 is not Kashmir centric. 370 is for every Muslim, Hindu, Sikh, Isai, Bodh, Kashmiri Pandit, Pahadi, Gujar.
From the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
From the state of Jammu and Kashmir, guaranteed in the constitution of this country. And what I would say, a real federal India, 370 and 35A should be applicable to every state in this country.
But 35A is by and large applicable to almost all countries. Even Bihar was asking for a special status. It was an election, a charter of Nitish Kumar and
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Of them.
Thank you very much, Neelam ji,
That's
for telling me this.
because I'm a political analyst, so I know about other states as well.
I would thank you very much that so many hundreds and thousands of people are watching this. That if this is true, what you are saying, it is true, we know that. This is what is our grouse with the BJP. Hey, if this is happening throughout the country, everybody wants it, why did you break it in Jammu and Kashmir? Because Jammu and Kashmir has shown you the way through the Maharaja Hari Singh in 1927.
But after that, 1947 also took place.
After 1947, he also showed you the way, and then Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah showed you the way. Okay, this is the way that a Muslim majority state will be dealing with the Union of India. And that was then put into law. The instrument of accession turned into law under 370 and the Delhi Agreement. And that's why we were doing that.
So now coming to the end of our conversation, as I always say for my programs,
and if you permit me,
it's not a talk, it's a conversation.
One item, if you permit
Yes,
me.
please, welcome.
For our viewers, for my friends in the BJP, RSS, you know it very well. 370 and 35A has nothing to do with terrorism. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so Muzzafar, the thing is that we very much want peace, prosperity and success to be there in the state of Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, and that as Prime Minister himself is saying, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav of 75 years of independence, that the state of Jammu and Kashmir prospers and the government is considering giving its statehood back also. So let's hope
Let's hope they are
path.
right. But I can say, as of today, while I am talking to you, we had two very bad news coming in from Jammu as well as Kashmir.
About militancy.
We lost two members of a family to unidentified gunmen. Both brothers, one was a policeman.
Right.
In Jammu, we lost, the bulldozers are being used in Bhathindi area.
Yeah,
And
see, then this is a discussion on a militancy terrorism, of which
it's
I'm an
it's,
expert also on
yes,
Kashmir
yes,
affairs.
yes. That's
We
why
will take
I wanted to.
Yeah, we'll take this issue
Sure.
again
It's
in
very
another
unfortunate. It's
conversation.
very unfortunate.
Yeah, but right
that
now, on a discussion of 370,
Yeah.
I just hope that the statehood of Jammu Kashmir is revived as is being promised by the government. And there, I would like to say thank you to you. And
Not only statehood. Statehood is the beginning. 370 and 35A will have to be restored with honor and dignity to the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh.
Yeah, I hope your voice is heard by the central government. And it was a very enlightening conversation with you. And I'm sure our viewers all over the world will really learn a lot. And whatever we are talking is in the positive spirit of democracy,
Absolutely.
of Kashmiriyat, as I
Absolutely.
always say,
Absolutely.
Jamhuriyat, and
Absolutely.
Insaniyat.
Absolutely.
Thank
you very
so
much.
much. Thank you so much. And viewers, with that, we come to an end of today's Lutyens Diaries. Thank you very much. This is Neelam Mahajan Singh wishing you goodbye. Thank you.